Hi, this is Adriana. I am covering the symbolism and meaning of the wolf animal spirit today. And in honor of the wolf and the wolf being my totem animal, I am wearing my wolf shirt with nice little feathers on the bottom. The wolf actually has a lot of meaning. I don't know if all of the animals are going to have as much meaning to them, but I have to say I was a little happy to find out that the wolf has so much meaning because of them being so close to my heart. So it's not just that they have meaning, but they have some pretty interesting meaning. So let me get into that. But first, I'm just going to read the quick list of their main traits and meanings. So they can represent protection, partnership, loyalty, compassion, spirituality, togetherness, strength, stamina, endurance, power, steadfastness, cooperation, faithfulness, the night, loneliness, fear, instinct, intuition, telepathy, intelligence, playfulness, social connections, shape-shifting, outwitting enemies, the past unseen, death and rebirth, appetite for freedom, lack of trust, fear of being threatened, and that you should pay attention to new insights, trust that you are always protected, to trust your inner knowing, take advantage of change, and to avoid confrontation. As you probably know, wolves generally have a negative connotation because of how they are presented in the media. But what's interesting is that I found information that on a deeper level, wolves are very connected to us. And so the reason that we have put them into such a negative connotation is because they actually make us see things about ourselves that we don't want to necessarily look at. So wolves stand for a wild spirit. And we like to think of ourselves as civilized, but the wolf reminds us that at our core, we are still a wild spirit. And so the iconic vision that we have of a wolf is a lone wolf howling at the moon, right? And so this represents our souls calling out to remember itself. Wolves symbolize the night. The night is lonesome and scary, but it is when we are sleeping that we discover the most important and valuable aspects of ourselves. We are the lone wolf howling at the moon, calling out to truly understand ourselves. To do this, we must separate ourselves from the beliefs and judgments of others, because it's only through the silence that we can hear the voice within ourselves ringing out like the howl of the wolf. Now, I found it really interesting that wolves are seen as shapeshifters. This is something that I had never actually known about, even though I've been very interested in wolves. The only example that I had known of this was the anime Wolf's Rain, which I didn't think had anything to do with actual native beliefs about wolves. But they are regarded as the shapeshifters and pathfinders who are able to travel through the deepest part of the forest, led only by their intuition. Through this, they are telling us to let go of our fears, follow our instincts, and they also symbolize a death and rebirth and teach us to face death with grace and courage. Wolves have a pack dynamic, and this is very strong with loyalty and playfulness, and everyone in the pack helps to raise the young. So wolves are telling us to be loyal, to form firm emotional attachments, to avoid fights and confrontations whenever it's possible, but to stand ferocious in order to protect those that we care about. They remind us to put our children first before ourselves and to always remember to allow ourselves to have fun. Another interesting was a strong sense of instincts and intuition. And so they are telling us to listen to our instincts over our logic when they are warning us about something. That way we can avoid negative situations and know who it is that we should or should not trust. The wolf reminds us to keep ourselves in motion because that is our natural state. The wolf reminds us to not let our fears, insecurities, and negative thought patterns get in the way of us curiously exploring the opportunities that we have in the world around us. We often hear about the she-wolf, and this archetype reminds us to set firm boundaries and not become too passive, even as women, because we can often find ourselves giving too much or in a negative or just uncomfortable sexual situation. And so the she-wolf is telling us to stand our ground and form firm boundaries where we need it. Now, some interesting facts about Native American beliefs about wolves are that they are considered extremely powerful beings, but some clans even see them as a creator deity or the ancestors of us. They can see them as being possibly extraterrestrials from Sirius that were able to transport themselves between Sirius and the Earth, and that they shapeshifted into humans, and that's how we evolved from them. And even if they're not shapeshifters, they represent transformation and that we can bring ourselves back to wellness. So they carry a strong medicine energy in Native American culture. And another interesting thing is the Ojibwe tribes actually believed that the connection between us and wolves were so strong that if something happened to a wolf, such as them breaking a leg or something, someone in the tribe would have this happen to them. So someone in the tribe would have their foot broken at some point. Now, the Celts also viewed wolves as a powerful form of transformation and a powerful being. They had the first sort of belief similar to werewolves, where humans could turn themselves into wolves instead of the other way around. And they believed that the wolves were the helpers in the rising of the moon. So the wolf would chase the sun to set so that the moon could rise. And a wolf was the sacred companion to the fertility and moon goddess, Serdwen, as well as a sacred companion to the horn god of wealth, fertility, and animals, Cernunnos. I probably did not say that correctly, and I'm sorry. So some specific reasons that the wolf energy might visit you. It is telling us to introspect within ourselves, to face our deepest fears, and seek out our own forms of freedom. It may be telling us that wilderness is calling to us and that we need to explore more of the world or of ourselves in order to embrace our true natures. It's time to take more risks and to break free of what it is that has been holding us back. They remind us to roam free. They're telling us to listen to our instincts and our intuition and to let go of what is no longer benefiting us. Tells us to examine the people that we're interacting with and to form strong, supportive relationships. And some reasons that you may call the wolf power animal in for you is to protect the ones that you love, to hone your instincts and intuition, to improve your social life, to reconnect with your wild and free self, to break free from boundaries, restrictions, and limitations, to bring more fun into your life, to transform yourself in some way, to face death with dignity and courage, to create emotional bonds, to trust more in your pack, to feel more secure, to become more aware about your emotions, to reconnect with your spiritual self, and to distinguish truths from lies. And some energies that you might carry if the wolf is your totem is loyalty, a sense of freedom, companionship, the ability to discern others' intentions, and inner wisdom, your intuition, shape-shifting, and the ability to walk the spirit realm. understanding how to balance and aid the world as a whole. It's the divine feminine energy. You might also have a lack of trust in others, and you may give into a predatory nature and have the knowledge of when it is best to fight and when it is best to flee from a situation. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and check out our website for more information.